and welcome to Cinema Therapy Reviews. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker who needs therapy, although not as much after watching this movie, because it felt therapeutic.
It's so damn healing.
It was just so warm and fuzzy. I love this movie.
It
We're
was.
talking about The Wild Robot.
It's okay, Mom. I'm alive.
Oh, yay.
It's about a robot lost in the wild that befriends a bunch of wild animals, and beyond that, we're not going to tell you because the plot is full of surprises. I will say when we get to the therapy portion of this review, it was hard to settle in because it's like, what life lessons should we put in this movie? All of them. We're going to put all of the life lessons, and it doesn't, but it doesn't feel overstuffed. It all lands. So what did you think of this movie?
I loved this film. I absolutely loved it. I have a couple of nitpicks that I'm going to get to, but they're very tiny little nits to pick. Yeah, overall, like, it was delightful, top to bottom. I was never bored. Most of the time I was fascinated. And the biggest thing that absolutely stood out to me is this film was beautiful. The layout team, which is like the production design team that does the sets and everything, absolutely crushed it. The design of the characters is fantastic. The animation, of course it's DreamWorks, the animation is top notch. The whole film felt to me, it was this bizarre mix of sort of impressionist and very painterly and yet realistic. Like the only way I can describe it is, what if you had given Monet like really high-end ray tracing algorithms?
That is the nerdiest statement you've ever said, and that is saying something.
Spoiler alert.
You mean nerd alert?
Alert nerd.
It's also thematically beautiful, and I guess my thing, it's not really a critique as much as there is, looking back on it, a three-act structure to the film, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like just life is happening, and you don't really know where the breaks are. It feels like, oh, is the movie ending now? Oh, no, it's just entering another chapter. And in that sense, it feels like an old book. But I really like that, because once you get to the end, you see how it all kind of comes together and how it all has its place.
This is the nit that I have to pick, is structurally, it's a little weird. Like,
it is. I don't even know if it's bad, but it is weird.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. That's where I settled on it, because as I was watching it, I was like, okay, wait, did we end? And it kind of had the Return of the King problem, where it had like 8 endings, kind of. But I was never mad when it came back. It was like, oh, well, we wrapped up that. Oh, we're not done. Oh, ooh, more.
Yeah, the difference between this and Return of the King is Return of the King is 3.5 or 4 hours, depending on which version you're watching. So, like,
yes.
This never tested my patience or made my butt hurt. But I agree with you, yeah. What a vocal cast, and unrecognizable when you know who actually performs the parts. I'm like, that did not sound like that person.
I honestly would not have picked that was Lupita Nyong'o as the main character, the robot. She was
Or Pedro
incredible.
Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, I did not pick.
I didn't pick that was Mark Hamill, the character that Mark Hamill plays, until the credits. I'm like, Mark
Oh, yeah.
Hamill?
No idea
Yeah,
that was
wow.
Mark Hamill. I was pretty sure that the Mama Possum was Catherine O'Hara. Bill Nye can't hide his Bill Nye. Like, I knew who that was immediately, and I was like, yay!
Any movie with Bill Nye is automatically better for it.
Mum, it's Philip. He's gone.
Where's he gone?
Mum, he's dead.
No, he isn't.
This is top tier DreamWorks for me. I mean, I think you have Prince of Egypt is in a class of its own, but Prince of Egypt doesn't feel like any other DreamWorks movies. And so as far as, this is right up there with the first How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, Puss in Boots, The Last Wish. To me, it's really in the upper echelon. That's a word I've read but never said.
Echelon. It is an echelon.
Thank you.
Yeah.
of DreamWorks movies. So Alan, who is this movie for?
I don't often say this. Literally everyone.
Yeah.
Like, the only person I can think of who it's not for, it might be intense for a very sensitive toddler.
Right.
Like, you know.
But like one of your hardy, gritty toddlers, they'd be okay.
Oh yeah, no, they'll tough it out. But seriously, it's for everybody. I am so excited to take my whole family next week, and I'm just legitimate hearty recommendation from me to anyone. If you like movies, if you like life, if you like feeling good about things.
There's a mild peril and some delightfully dark jokes, but none of it is
Yeah.
anything that I would steer clear.
The
anyway.
joke right at the beginning with the possum family
Yeah.
took me out. It was incredible. So, it's for everybody, but Jonathan, who specifically does it help and how?
Well, like I said, it's got all the life lessons in it. It feels like there's so much psychological meat. But I would say the primary theme, if I could get into theme without spoiling plot points, is this is nature. You know, it's kill or be killed. And so it's very rough and tumble and survivalist. And so there's a theme going throughout that kindness is a survival mechanism. And how do we form community? And that serves us better than just everyone looking out for themselves. These are some questions that I would bring to the theater if I were looking for things to help me in my life. 1, in what way is kindness a survival skill? What role does forgiveness and understanding have in healing relationships? How can you grow beyond what you've been programmed to do? And again, like, those are just the 3 that came off the top of my head. I mean, there's such deep, powerful lessons about parenting. And also, like, in both directions, parent to child, but also child to parent. This is a movie that I could revisit over and over and over again and get something new every time. And I, like you, very much looking forward to going back with my family because I caught the late show last night. There's
a 20-minute section of this movie that I want to hogtie every single member of the U.S. Congress and Senate. Like, like I want to do the Clockwork Orange thing where I strap them to a chair and keep their eyes open and just like watch this on repeat until you get it.
I agree. The best we could do is recommend that people see it because this is a movie that can build bridges. This is a movie that can teach people healing skills and community skills and mental health and emotional wellness. This is probably my favorite movie of the year at this point.
It's, I'd have to go back through my list, but it's certainly up there for me. I loved this film.
Time to give it a number then. Alan, out of 10, what would you give Wild Robot?
Okay. Only because of the minor pacing issues. And again, I was never bored. It just felt like it kind of stopped and then started a couple of times. Only because of that is this not a 10 out of 10, but I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I loved this film.
And I feel like because you are the filmmaker and a little bit harsher of a critic than I am, and I'm much more of like your average moviegoer, I'm going to give it a 10. Full 10. So
there we go. 9.5, averaged out. The Wild Robot from DreamWorks, strong recommend from both Jonathan and I.
If you've seen it, what did you think? Let us know in the comments below. Label spoilers if you want to have conversations about plot points.
And of course, if you're enjoying these reviews, please click like, subscribe, hit the bell, all of the algorithm things, leave a comment. If you can't think of a comment, leave an emoji with a robot on it or an animal or something. So until next time, watch movies at the theater.